Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the World Class Championship Wrestling Review Series, and we are entering the middle of August, 1987, specifically August 15th, 1987. Um, Really, I mean, not a bad show, but it's getting to the point where I've reached the point where I'm finishing this because of the series. And I would probably, if I were a weekly watcher at the time, because I'm a completist, I'd be watching anyway. But that being said, um, outside of maybe one or two story ideas, I would not be watching this on a weekly basis. Anyway, The Simpsons, Sean and Steve versus the Dirty White Boys open the program. Um, and it looks as though we've kind of moved back into the rodeo at Mesquite. Simpsons, Steve is obviously the more experienced, and then Sean, brand new to the area. Len Denton and Tony Anthony are your Dirty White Boys. The Dirty White Boy, Tony Anthony, big deal in Smoky Mountain and USWA and other areas like that in the years to come, which I'll enjoy covering because I love Smoky Mountain, probably tied with Mid-South as my favorite all-time promotion. So going back and being able to watch all of Mid-South. I've watched a few years, but not the whole run. But that'll be fun. I have watched all of Smoky Mountain, but that was 20 years ago. That'll also be fun. Anyway, Steve manages to lead early, and again, this is kind of an indoor. It's an outdoor stadium, but there is kind of coverage over it. Percy Pringle not happy with his Dirty White Boys having issues. Pringle makes his way into the ring, nearly gets himself in trouble. We're back to a 38-minute show instead of like a 45, 46-minute show. Double head scissors by the younger Simpson, which is well done. The sun, the sun on the canvas makes it harder to shoot. The shots by the White Boys make things go a little crazy. Referee has to get in there a little bit more than he wants to, and then we kind of see the cutoff of the ring by the Dirty White Boys for the next several minutes. Match is really, I wouldn't say bad, but there's nothing here that you have to go out of your way to see. The Simpsons do seem to work together well. It looks like one Simpson is almost about to get a bridging pinfall combination, doesn't get it. They go for several minutes through this process, and swinging neckbreaker by one of the White Boys, and then a fist drop. The Simpsons are the underdogs for the majority of the match. This is clear. Percy Pringle happy with that on the outside. Bear hug to slow down the match about 10 minutes in, which is surprising to me that you would be trying to draw out something like this in that way. Irish whip and a sunset flip by Steve, and gets a 2 count. All 4 guys in the ring, turns into a brawl, and the crowd is very satisfied with the Simpsons gaining a victory. Then we move to Al Madrill and Cowboy Tony. They shoot a funny little graphic that says "No bull in this match." I thought that was kind of cute. Anyway, so Madrill with go behinds, wrist locks, hammer locks, and the like, and then he kind of brings his adversary out of the corner with a big backdrop, and then back to the side headlock takeover, kick to the midsection, and then shots into the buckle by Boy Tony. Boy, Tony is doing better here than one would imagine him to do. Not that he's a bad worker or anything, but he's not a standout level guy. But he does manage to get a cheating pinfall victory with the use of the ropes, or so it looks like. However, the referee catches him. Madrill manages to get thrown over the top rope, and that doesn't end well. Referee might not have been looking, or they've eliminated the disqualification victory from that. But anyway, I mean, it kind of, Madrill saying he wants 5 more minutes. That doesn't happen. Then we move into the Rock and Roll RPMs against Emery and Lancaster. Not a match that, again, not something you have to go out of your way to see. Your Rock and Roll RPMs are your challengers for the Tag Team Championships. I do like Lancaster's ring robe, multicolored. It's really kind of awesome looking just to look at it. Very sparkly, very multicolored. RPMs don't really get a clear advantage until further into the match. Emery is on the receiving end of the majority of punishment, early side headlock, and grinding through basic holds. And I love basic wrestling, but the one thing I've learned in watching over the last month and a half, watching this particular product, is they are not moving as quick as even the NWA at the time was. And I think they would have benefited greatly from some level of enhancement talent on a more regular basis, shorter matches. Anyway, Lancaster in the ring and manages to hit a backbreaker off of an attempted crossbody that goes wrong. Tag back, and then we see the use of Emery as a ping pong ball. They do the RPMs hit a drop kick and then a roll through. Emery manages to grab the tights and get the victory for his team. Then we move on to the main event: Skip Young versus Al Perez, Texas title on the line. At this point, I think it would have been a good idea to put Young over, especially in the outdoor area nature of things. They're given about 10 or 11 minutes before the close of the program here. Perez is a guy who can do good with just about anybody. Skip Young, with what he has accomplished in the area, both as a former tag team champion from years ago and in this run, I think giving him the Texas title would have been a good idea. Up and go behind attempted roll-up. They don't communicate nearly as well on that roll-up as you'd like, as it took a few extra seconds to get him into the position for the roll-up. Perez slows things down, goes and drops knee after knee on the shoulder and spinal column of his adversary. Then we kind of see that break down a little further, and Perez is causing him to carry some extra weight, using the reverse chinlock, using every advantage he can get. Top rope dropkick out of nowhere blasts Perez across the ring, and that is very well done. Gary Hart up on the apron. Gary Hart gets nailed with a headbutt from Young and allows the win for Al Perez with the hook of the tights. So that will close that particular matchup, and we'll be back with more right after this.